15 power rankings, and there's a crazy shakeup in the top 5 this week. But starting things off at number 32, we have the Houston Texans. No one expected them to be that competitive with the Cowboys. They literally held the lead for the majority of that game, but they still ended up losing and unfortunately have the worst record of the NFL. At number 31, I have the Denver Broncos. They went down 27-0 quick versus the Chiefs, but all of a sudden this offense woke up, probably played their best game of the season and put up 28 points, but unfortunately Russ left with a head injury and they lost. At 30, I have the Chicago Bears. They were on a bye. At number 29, I have the Indianapolis Colts. They were on a bye. I hate to move teams down while they're on a bye, but so many teams around them on this list won this past week, so I had to move them down a little bit. At number 28, I have the Arizona Cardinals. Things are going from bad to worse for the Cardinals. Kyler Murray tore his ACL in last night's loss versus the Patriots. At number 27, I have the New Orleans Saints. They were on a bye as well. At number 26, I have the Carolina Panthers. A really impressive road win for them versus the Seahawks. We know it's always hard to go into Seattle and win, especially this time of the year. We know this defense, it's a good defense. This offense, it's not very good, but I was pleasantly surprised that they put up 30 in this one. At number 25, I have the Los Angeles Rams. Baker had his Hollywood movie moment in his first game in Los Angeles. I can't believe he went 98 yards with guys he's only known for 2 days, with a playbook he's only had for 2 days. That's actually insane. At number 24, have the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders choked away their lead versus the Rams and possibly their chance at a playoff spot as well. I mean, they're probably not making the playoffs. Let's be real. They really needed to win that game and a bunch of other games. Their season is looking like it's over. At number 23, I have the Atlanta Falcons. They were on a bye. At number 22, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. They lost a close one versus the Ravens. Pickett left with an injury, and Trubisky just came in there and really stunk it up. He threw 3 picks. At number 21, I have the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson is playing terribly. They lost versus a Bengals team they destroyed just a few weeks ago on Halloween night with Jacoby Brissett under center instead of Watson. At number 20, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars. A really impressive win for this team on the road versus the Titans. Lawrence had another really good game, and he's playing pretty well these past few weeks. At 19, I have the Green Bay Packers. They were on a bye. At number 18, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. An embarrassing loss for them versus the 49ers. They lost 35-7. They looked a mess. This offense looked atrocious, which makes sense because they're playing probably the best defense in the league. But even though they have a losing record, they're still the number 1 team in the NFC South. At number 17, I have the Seattle Seahawks. This team is sliding. They've lost 3 of their last 4, and Geno didn't play very well in their loss versus the Panthers. At number 16, I have the New York Jets. They were competitive on the road versus the Bills, but they came up just short and lost. At number 15, I have the New York Giants. They were absolutely demolished by the Eagles, and as of today, December 13th, they haven't won a game in a full month. At number 14, I have the New England Patriots. They got the win versus the Kyler Murray-less Cardinals on Monday Night Football. This team is really confusing because their offense absolutely stinks. I mean, you could see how frustrated Mac Jones is with Matt Patricia during these games, but their defense is so good. It can carry them, but I don't know how long a defense like this can carry you when your offense is just this bad. At number 13, I have the Detroit Lions. The Lions are the hottest team in the NFL right now. They've won 5 of their last 6, and in their big win versus the 10-win Vikings, Jared Goff had another 3-tutty game. This defense, it's continually improving, and that's been huge for them on this win streak. At number 12, I have the Los Angeles Chargers, an extremely gutsy performance by a super duper injured Chargers team to get the win versus the Dolphins. Both the Chargers starting tackles were injured, but Herbert was still hanging back there and dropping dimes. At 11, I have the Washington Commanders. They were on a bye. At number 10, I have the Tennessee Titans. This team is in trouble right now. They have lost their last 3 games, including their most recent loss at home versus Jacksonville. This defense allowed the Jaguars to score 36 against them. At number 9, I have the Miami Dolphins. We have now seen back-to-back weeks of Tua looking really bad. This offense looked terrible and struggled to get going. Actually couldn't get anything going. Versus the Chargers defense that was down basically all of its star players. There was no Joey Bosa. There was no Derwin James. There was no JC Jackson. And this Dolphins offense still couldn't do anything. At number 8, I have the Baltimore Ravens. They got a much needed win versus the Steelers to stop their recent slide. At number 7, I have the Minnesota Vikings. They suffered a tough loss versus the hottest team in the league, but I just got to take a second to appreciate Justin Jefferson's performance in this one. He had 223 receiving yards. It's actually so crazy to think about the fact he had over 2 football fields worth of receiving yards. That's insane. At number 6, I have the San Francisco 49ers. I think this defense is the best in the league, and oh my gosh, Brock Purdy. This is a fun story. Yes, defenses might catch on, but come on. That touchdown throw to McCaffrey, I'm enjoying the Purdy show right now. I'm enjoying this storyline, guys. At number 5, I have the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow has been playing amazing these past few weeks. This weekend, they got a big win versus a Browns team that destroyed them just a few weeks ago on Halloween. At number 4, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. So yes, they won, but I had to move them down a spot because how do you go up 27-0 versus the Broncos? The Broncos that literally don't have an offense and then end up only winning by 6? How do you let the Broncos get back into that game? Yes, Mahomes got a little sloppy. He threw 3 interceptions, but the over 300 passing yards and 3 passing touchdowns kind of make up for that. But I'll be honest, this defense does make me a little nervous heading into the final stretch of the season. At number 2, I have the Dallas Cowboys. I had to move them down a spot because they were losing for the majority of the game versus the Texans. That game shouldn't have been close at all. They should have dominated that whole game because they were playing the worst team in the league. And the Cowboys are a team with Super Bowl aspirations. I think the Cowboys' problem is they sometimes play down to their opponents. We even saw this 2 weeks ago versus the Colts. That was a 2-point game in the third quarter, but they actually ended up running away with that one in the fourth quarter, putting up a ton of points. But we saw it again in this one. They played down to their opponent. I think they can beat anyone. I think the Cowboys can beat any team in the league. They're that good, but they got to stop playing down to teams that are clearly worse than them. At number 2, I have the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are back in my top 3 after 2 losses in a row. The Bills are now on a 4-game win streak. They beat the Jets. It wasn't some crazy Josh Allen game because the conditions were kind of gross and rainy, but they still were able to rely on their defense, and Dawson Knox made an incredible touchdown catch to seal the win. At number 1, I have the Philadelphia Eagles. Not much needs to be said about this. They're 12-1. Best record in the league, look like the most dominant team in the league. And honestly, how are you stopping this offense? How are you stopping the RPO? They absolutely destroyed the Giants on the road this past week. I want to know your guys' top 5. Let me know in the comments down below. Appreciate you watching till the end. Peace.